All right, so I'm going to get started. So welcome to Canvas. So the very beginning is the home page. So once students enter your class, they will automatically go to the home page. So sometimes you can connect it and make them automatically go to quizzes or automatically go to modules. You don't want to change this, you want to just keep whatever you want. Or you can do something like this. So my other page has like a sign language I love you hand, and then it says like click here for modules. So here you can sign up for finger spelling basics, and then you can see once my mouse over it, if I click on it, it'll send me directly there. But for your home page, you have to create it under pages. So once you hit edit, here you can do a lot. It's kind of like Microsoft document, like a Word doc. The size, you have the color, background color, all that. You can upload images, you can attach links, and you can also upload a file. So sometimes you already have a file you want, or you can upload one from your desktop. You can also upload one from a different course, which I'll show you later, but as long as you highlight it, even if you don't highlight it, it'll come up as whatever you saved it as. But if you highlight it, upload a new, browse, and then desktop, and you can upload just about anything. Then after you do, I'll just show you for an example. That might be a little big. You have to hit upload. So that was a mistake I made, is I would just hit OK and I forgot upload. So then you'd have to hit upload, wait for that to go away, and then there you go. You can see it's underlined once you put your mouse over it. And then you can even pick teachers, anyone. You normally will just, it'll probably automatically go to students. And this, I like, notify users that this content has changed. So whether you change an assignment or create a new one, I like to click this so that they get a notification. And then after you hit save, you'll want to make sure it's published. So unpublish, publish, well, it's not letting me right now, but yeah. So that is your homepage. So are there any questions about your homepage or creating a page?
Michelle, this is Dave Sharp. Thanks. Real quick question. Do students automatically get notifications or do they have to sign up for that?
So I would think that they automatically do. The problem is kids don't always check their email or Canvas. So when I go into, I'll show you another class. I think I still have some I did not look at. Any class, the notifications, depending on how zoomed in you are, it looks like they already took away my classes. That's the old one. Where did they really already take away my classes?
Yeah, I got an email today saying, but I think we're supposed to get them back. Like, because there was a question about whether or not we could save them in our sandbox, and I didn't do that yet. So I'm hoping that we get them back on the 19th or something.
Oh, here they are. Yeah, because I still have my ones from last year, but I remember I had to do something to save it.
Yeah, I was told that you have to import them into the sandbox or something like that.
So students, I believe, have to set up how, I know like for me, I can set up how often I want Canvas to inform me about assignments. So when you go into assignment, see upcoming assignments, it'll be right here for students and for you, for like if you have something to grade. The only thing is if you're too zoomed in, then it goes to the bottom. Upcoming assignments, and it'll be listed here. And you'll have several depending on, maybe it'll be like different assignments, for the different, well, this is a specific course, but yeah. So
Yeah, I just wondered if they once they're added, like, once you create the course and the students are in the course, they automatically get those notifications, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Thank
So
you.
even when you go into Canvas, if you don't click a class, you'll see them all here. So before coming up, like you'll see what students have completed here in every class. And then you'll have 2 or more in next week, or 5 more, whatever. Any other questions about the homepage?
Yes, Michelle, this is Linda Rita Limo. I was going to ask this question eventually. When you were editing your homepage, there's a part there that says include this in the mastery paths. What are the mastery paths?
Where does it say?
Right underneath there, it says allow in mastery paths. Because I also click on add to student to do. I do that if there's something I want them to do, particularly on a day. Like when I did my virtual office hour, I did that during our spring session. But I don't know what mastery paths mean.
I've never clicked either of these. That's a good question. I have no idea.
But the to-do one, I click that whenever I wanted my kids to pay attention to something on a particular day, then I would do it the night before, and it would show up at the top of my homepage like to-do June the 16th. But I just wondered about mastery paths. Okay, thanks.
I'll try it when I get to so I'm going to do syllabus and modules, and I'll try it there, and then we can look at student view and see if it alters it.
Thanks.
Ask again. So for syllabus, there's 2 ways you can do it. Here you can see I just copied and pasted my syllabus. You can also just upload it, because I'm sure many of you already have it saved as a doc. So you can, if this is completely blank, you can either leave it blank and then do the file upload, or you can even do like click here to view your syllabus. Highlight it, upload. Make sure you hit upload and then wait for this to end, and then you saw the yellow, so that's how you know it's there. Upload syllabus. So I'm not going to do it now because of what I had. Or you can just, copy and paste it into there. Any questions about syllabus? Okay. So modules and assignments kind of go hand in hand. I prefer modules because I think it's more organized. So when you make a new module, that will be the title of each. So week of 15th, teachers welcome, getting started, module 1. So depending on how you want to do it, I was doing it by units for sign language. So unit 1, and then they could open it and it would all be down. During quarantine, I was doing week of, so they could see which week. Me and the other ASL teachers were sharing, and I noticed they just did like 1 and then 2 and then 3. But I feel like that could be hard to follow, especially if it's like with 1 unit, or, they're just could guess. But so you create a new module. So let's say week of July 1st. And then it automatically goes to the bottom, but you can reorganize this at any time. All you have to do is click and hold, and then use the other hand to move it around. And then you can add an assignment. So this is where they normally go to assignments, or you can attach it to a quiz, a page, discussion, whatever. So let's say I want to do quiz. I could either do new quiz, or I can attach a quiz that I've already created. Let's see. Finger spelling 101. You can even indent. We'll indent it really far, see what it looks like. There you go. So once you do that, it's not published. So students can't see it, only you can. So even if you publish it here, they still can't see it. You have to do it here. You might think, well, why do you even have that? Because if you have more than one, you might want this published, but not everything that's beneath it. And then you can, again, reorganize it. And the same thing as before for the pages. You can edit it, whatever. You can attach a quiz here. So instead of files and, the files that you have, which I'll show you in a minute, you can upload a file or you can link it to anything of your pages. So it's just kind of easier instead of students like clicking around. If you just do, I prefer just putting everything under modules, even if they have a quiz. So we'll attach, the grammar quiz. And then you can see here, if you want, maybe for a quiz, they won't have a submission, so no submission. For points, I don't like to do grade it. The reason I don't do grade it is because I'd have to grade it in Canvas and then go to Synergy and grade it there. They don't connect. And I talked to Spraggins about this, and he said that there's no way it'll connect to Synergy unless Synergy does some changes. So that's why I don't grade. During quarantine, I was doing complete incomplete because parents wanted to know if their kids were doing the work so they could see it that way. And then here you can, again, assignment group, points if you want to do points. You can make things a group assignment, peer review, which I have used. I like this a lot. The only thing about peer reviews is the student has to complete the assignment and then you have to go back in and click to peer review. But this is really good for sign language when kids upload a video and then they can watch it for my class. And then here, obviously you normally want to do everyone for most of it. You can pick a due date, when it's until, so if it's due the 16th, but you allow them to hand in a week late, and then whenever you want it available. If you made it that day, it'll be available. Even if it's not, that time, it'll still at the beginning of the day. You can make it, if it's a quiz and your class starts at 1:30, you can make it available at 1:30. And then maybe they only have until that day at 3 p.m. to finish the quiz. And then instead of save, you can do save and publish so that it's automatically will become available at this time. And again, notify users. If I did save and publish. Okay, go away. Oh, because the due date is after. So we'll say it's due at 3 o'clock. Lock cannot be before due date.
Your due time is 3:50. Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
So if you do save and publish, it's automatically published. If not, then it's saved and you'll still have to click publish. So sometimes you might be creating assignments and you're not finished with it or whatnot. Quiz is on. Peer review. Okay. So we'll go now under files. Oh, any questions about creating a module or an assignment?
Yeah, that was always my question. Like during this session, what I ended up doing was I should have divided it into different modules. I did my whole spring session as a module, like, March to June. And then what I did was I did each week like you did. And so I'm just trying, because I know other teachers like to do like their setup is different, but I like yours, it's organized. And, but I just didn't want to overwhelm the kids. I connected my module to my homepage. So they clicked on the homepage and then they just saw it. in chronological order, like week of March the 1st, week of March the 7th. But I like the way you did it. And then one more question, you know, under the assignment, complete, incomplete, or even if it's so many points. Of course, during the quarantine, I indicated will not count toward the final grade. But even if it's something you want them to do and you're giving them points, you can still not count it toward their final grade, right?
Yes, but again, this even if you grade it here, you'd have to go into Canvas and grade it.
Right.
You could even just add that like a little note. So
Yeah. Well, I did grade it in the Canvas because the kids like to go and see what they did, but I do know that it doesn't transfer to Synergy. You kind of do it twice.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And I guess two things I kind of missed, I forgot to talk about is I find that students don't like to read. So my instructions are very short, precise, and I like to, you know, do some fun color. It just makes it stand out more if I do have a lot of instructions. And then if you are doing a quiz, you click here for questions. And new question, you can do question 1, question 2, but then you have so many options. Do multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, fill in multiple blanks, you know, all these. So even if, you know, this one is, I won't change that because I was going to show you something. Oh yeah, so one might be true, false. Is my name. And the answer. I guess. Yes, and then you have to click done. Click done. And these are, I'll show you in a second. So save that. Let me go to the next. So I love to do this after I do any kind of assignment. Go to settings and student view. So you can see what students can view. So if you go under quizzes, you can test out your quiz to see if you like it or not. Take quiz. And then you can see what it looks like. And they can, you know, fill in the blank here, write the things here. And then I had some friends do, you can always like reset and leave. I had a couple colleagues do one of the quizzes. I believe it's the first quiz. Oh, let me reset. Leave student view, sorry. Which one did they do? You could also always preview it here. So, look like it's not working, but you can see the options. But there was something I did. Edit. Oh yeah, here. So correct answer. So you can pop up comments in these, and it says correct answer comments, great job. Wrong answer comments, try again. Maybe you want to give them a hint if they got it wrong, or general answer comments. So these comments will pop up whether they got it incorrect or incorrect. And this also goes along with this, so it's kind of the same. So you can either write it here or here. I don't know why we have the option twice, but and then this is the only one for all of it. Let me see. Okay. So now files. So here's where I've uploaded all, like, everything for the units in my other one, and then you can just attach it to the module. So you can either create the module and then find it on your desktop, or you can go here and attach all the ones you want, and then later, you know, like I showed you before, attach to, and then you connect it here. There's just different ways. This is just easier to find because you're not going to have everything on your laptop, on your desktop. You might not, but you can. I just like to, for me and my other ones, I uploaded everything under here and then I attached it. You can, let's see, so you can create a new folder, hit the check. Oh, I created it in there, so I'd want to click on Sandbox, make a new folder. And I wouldn't want this one. And then again, you have to publish it, so make sure it is published. Otherwise, even if you attach it to an assignment, students won't be able to see it. Only visible to students with a link, and then you can schedule it. Any questions about files?
A quick one here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my files were in color, but when I uploaded them, I lost the color. So do I do it within the you know, the keys and stuff already in Canvas? Like when I go to upload it, do I then add the color again?
Do you mean like this box was color, or like in the assignment?
No, like my, if I uploaded a file and I had like yellow, I highlighted certain things and put things in color, it didn't show up once I put it in my Canvas, whether it was the assignment, you know, in the module.
It should have.
But it didn't. So what do I have to do then? Can I fix it once I uploaded it?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
So I will show you. Upload. Oh, so also you can upload things from Google Drive if you want. My homepage right now is very unorganized, but I normally have everything under. See, this is everything on my document. So I don't know, just anything. So actually, answer your question, unless it's connect to Google Drive, if it's just a Word doc uploaded, I don't think you can change it. So I would have to help play around with you, or I would just make it on a Google Drive and attach it, and this way you can keep editing it there. But it should come up colored if you attach it. So let's see if there's something so I can try it out.
Because I would say that's okay. I'll experiment later. I just wanted to know why my color never showed up.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, my boldface, I mean, it just didn't, because I didn't go to Google Drive. I did my own, you know, from my USB. That's okay.
I'm kind of curious, but it's only take a second. It's a small doc. My videos take a while to upload. Yeah, it's there. I don't know why. Okay, so next is conference. So this I used a lot during quarantine to create a conference, whatever you want it to be named. It's always going to be big blue button. That's just the only option. And then how long you want it. Obviously, you can always end it beforehand. I didn't say always. I did enable recording. I recorded if it was one-on-one with the student, just kind of in case something happened, you know, I have it recorded. And then you can add a description, invite all or not, and then you can pick, you know, which students you want to invite. this, again, I really liked during quarantine. I did like the entire class, and then some students wanted one-on-one time that, wasn't my office hours. Or you can just meet through Zoom or Microsoft Teams, but you can also do it here if you just want to concentrate and use Canvas. So if I did create it, let's see, vocab review. And then it'll be here, and then once you click start, it'll open up right away, and the student or students can join. Any questions about conference?
Can you go over the settings? Because there were times when my student I couldn't see the student, but they could see me, please.
So once you open it right here, microphone, listen, only microphone, join using your phone. No, we'll do microphone. It'll always allow, it's gonna test. So students have the same thing there, so they just need to accept the microphone. And then down here, this is where students can also,
You are currently the only person in this conference. You are now muted.
so you can leave audio. So students need to share their webcam. So they just have to click right here. And then I can share my screen, share webcam, put my audio on, and then you can even add a poll, presentation. There's just so much you can do. But yeah, you just have to, tell kid middle, bottom of your screen, click the camera. And then they just need to share webcam. So students are new to it too, so they just kind of have to practice with it. So my first one, I just met and just, told them to play around and had them work on that. Some students, their camera was already broken on their computer, so there's nothing we can do about that.
Now, Michelle, on the right, the 3 dots at the top right, when you click on it, you see the settings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the commands there. Which one should we have on?
Personal preference. I probably would just leave them all off. Depending on what you want. Do you want, an alert when someone chats? So you can see right here, this is you talking.
Okay.
So if someone the chat box would pop up. Yeah, I don't think I need a notification for any of that. But
okay, so you normally just turn it off. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then you can also see right here too, the options. Any other questions about conference?
Yeah, do you normally not allow the kids to see each other's cameras?
So
Because sometimes they can be distracting.
I don't think they can. I know in Microsoft Team they can't, which is why, so WNL or APS doesn't approve Zoom because of the bad media it got. The reason I'm using Zoom is because that's the only one that works for sign language people. We can't hear each other. I'm the only hearing ASL teacher in the district, and we need to be able to see each other. So we use Zoom. We got permission. I had students sign a form, parents sign a form saying that they understand and they approve, and everything will be recorded. So I use Zoom for that reason, because you can't see each other. I know at least Microsoft Teams, I don't think here. And even if you have 30 kids in a class and 30 different screens, everyone's really tiny. And let alone their hands are going to be even tinier. So it's just so hard to see.
So you normally are the only ones that they can see, and then you can, so are they typing in their chat?
They can type or voice.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so when I did the meetings, I just did it that way, and then I switched to Zoom after the second week of quarantine.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then breakout rooms too, which I have not tried yet on here. And then even if you exit, you have to hit end. So the kids could still be in there, but you have to click end. And then it goes away. Discussions, pretty simple, just like it says. You can create a discussion, have other students submit, work. Okay, so let's go into settings. So like I said, I love student view. I like to see what students can see. And then anytime you click it, you'll be aware right down here. So you can see a couple already went away. You can see they have their to-do list. And even if they have it, they can just click X. And even if they didn't submit it. Same with you, like if you have an assignment you need a grade, you didn't grade it yet, you don't want to grade it, or you, for whatever reason, you can just click X. So I'll go back into settings. So import course contacts or export course content. So there might be files I spent a lot of time uploading here that I also want in another class. That's where I'll do this. Or if I want to import from another class. So you always want to do copy a Canvas course if you have something in another class. And then let's say I want to do, oh, this one's mine. Include completed courses. I've never done all content. I've always done specific. So I don't want the whole thing from, my ASL 1 class. And then I always do adjust dates because, maybe it's L day versus a W day. I would normally just do remove dates and then re-add it. So once you do that, since you don't want the whole course, you have to select the content. And then here you can see everything that I have. So maybe I'll click the arrow. I want this week, and this one. And then I also want to go to quizzes. Oh, I like the final exam. They're going to have the same final exam as my other course or whatnot. And then you just hit select content. And you have to wait until it says complete it for everything to be uploaded. Depending on how much work you have selected, it may take some time. And of course, your internet is always lovely to wait for. Does anyone want me to wait for this to be uploaded?
I'm fine.
Okay. Just don't know how long things take sometimes. So back into settings. So you can organize this here. And I haven't done it in a while. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Navigation. So home, syllabus, maybe, they have weekly quizzes. I know some math teachers do that. You want that up there. Maybe you're like, oh, we're never going to use chat. You can put it down here. So drag items here to hide. So you see this with the eye with the cross out. That means students can't see it. So this is what students can see, and this is what they can't. And just clicking and dragging, reorganizing any way you want. And then once you're done doing that, let me just put it back how I had it. Click save. So there are a lot of things you can do that I've heard are pretty good. Edpuzzle, I've used like once. BrainPop, I heard is good. Connect Good. Nearpod, I've heard is pretty popular now. There's just so many options. It's nice. It can be overwhelming. Okay. Any questions about any of the stuff I talked about on settings? You can also apps. I've never used this, but here are the ones that we've I just mentioned a couple of them. And this is the conclude course, which you may or may not have used. So if you have like a class that's like a half year long, you might want to use that. Otherwise, Arlington kind of does it for you. So the last thing I was gonna do is people. So these are my people. I've added some colleagues. Let's see, I'll click on Miss Barnes-Brenneman. So you can see what they've done. So she's only been on here on June 15th. She participated once and she was on 15 pages that day. So you can even search people if you want someone, because you have a lot of students. Click on her. Here we go. So if you click on the face versus the name, you'll see here. So I really like Access Report over Analytics. So she was in vocab words twice, participated once, last viewed. So quizzes. It'll also tell you how long. Let's see if I can show you my other class. I really like this because I've made assignments this year. And for during the quarantine that students were supposed to watch something. And one student did like 5 in a row and they were only on there, it says 1 minute, they don't give seconds. So I know that this student really did not do it. So this is what my page looks like. So my home page, click here for modules, which are due, to see which modules. Oh, everything's actually not available. So I can't show you, but it'll have how long. So you can see the last time they viewed, and it'll say like 1 minute, 5 minutes. So, you know, if you have a student who did a quiz in 1 minute, you might be skeptical that they did it with someone. And then I can just make it not available for students to see each other who are in the class, but I can see what they've done and where, when, and how long. Any questions about people? So the last thing I'll say is right now I am in my Sandbox course. So you could see here, Michelle at Sandbox. So this is where I created a fake course and just practice uploading stuff. And I practiced before I, was giving this PD. And it's really good for you guys to practice with it so that you're not doing it on your Canvas course. Even like throughout the school year, you want to see what something's going to look like, or you want to practice trying something new, but you don't want to do it in there yet. That's a good place to do it. Especially, I just showed you I can't even access my course. So the Sandbox is a great way to experiment. And that's kind of really what you have to do, is just play with it. Everyone likes it a little differently. Maybe they want to create rubrics. Maybe they want to do, Edpuzzle. Just kind of practicing with it and playing with it is the best way. The second best way is Mr. Spraggan's course. So you're going to click on your courses, Washington Liberty staff, and browse the tech. So also if you do courses, I can show you what it looks like. Oh, maybe I'll do dashboard. It's a big blue pretty W&L. Click on it, browse the tech, and our lovely Mr. Spraggan appears with his organized page. Number 3 is Canvas tutorials, or you can do Command F and type in Canvas, and you can see the bottom left. Hit enter, and I can jump down there. Do I want to learn about quizzes, brain pop, teams for students, integrated Google templates into the Canvas for student use, password my access. So he has a lot of stuff here that really helps for Canvas. So this and just playing with it is the best way to learn. That's about it. Any questions?
Michelle, you said take his course, right? Because we can't access his stuff at Washington Liberty,
Oh, you can't. I'm so sorry.
right?
Yes, I forgot that it's just for Washington Liberty. Craig's
Right.
awesome. And he's leaving us, unfortunately.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no.
I know, yeah, he just announced.
Listening, where's he going?
I forget, he's working at another school.
Wow, okay.
In Arlington?
My memory does not know that answer.
I have
Aw.
another question. This is Judy from Discovery when you guys are done with the one that you're working on right now.
Okay, I'm not sure how to add you to this. I'm so sorry.
Because I know within my school, we can add people within our building, but I didn't know that you could access somebody else at a different school.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I guess depends on your tech guy and how good they are, if they have that. Yeah, so sorry about that. Real quick though, I forgot to mention, so after you create your homepage, you have to choose homepage. So do you want your homepage to be syllabus? Do you want it to be
Oh.
assignment list? So you can see I made pages, so you can change of which page you want it to be. All those. So sorry about that. So yeah, choose your homepage. Someone said they had a question?
Yeah, it's Judy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So I was about 15 to 20 minutes late, so I'm sorry if I missed it. But my question is about using the announcements tab. Where the heck is that? Yeah, down there. So I work at Discovery. I'm the assistant principal here. And one of the things that I've noticed just through my own children who are high school students who use Canvas is that the teachers will use announcements as a way, like I know they get notifications to say, you know, check Canvas or whatever, but they use it as the teachers will post things to assignments and the students just regularly know to go to the Google Classroom to read the announcements, kind of like an email. Or they'll say, I'll post announcements, like through distance learning, they were like, read the announcements every Monday, we'll have it posted by 9 a.m. or something like that. So I think my question is can the announcement piece be used as a way of communicating at the high school level through to students, but I work in the elementary level where parents would log on to Canvas as with their child or as their child and then be able to read things that teachers want to share out in lieu of sending class emails.
Yeah, definitely. So I know one teacher, she will make announcements her homepage. Or if it's announcements is something you really like.
Because what we want to do, and the reason why I'm asking this is just cutting down. We want teachers to work as collaborative teams. So let's say I want my fourth grade team to work together, and I don't want this teacher sending class emails when my other fourth grade teacher doesn't. So if I can just say, by and large, we're all going to post announcements on this day as a team to the Canvas page, just to not to keep it even Steven, but for like the big messaging coming from Canvas rather than class emails. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. It's because there's so many tabs that can go to the same thing. So in modules, assignments, even under announcements, you can attach it to modules, you can attach to quizzes. So instead of having, you know, different teachers set up differently, asking them to all do announcements is understandable.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
In your opinion, then, I don't know if you use announcements. Do you think that's, I don't want to say like a good idea, like, or is there another way to use Canvas as a platform to message to families?
I haven't used it much. I've just been using Inbox. it's kind of just a personal preference. It's kind of the same way. They're going to get a notification either way. Is it going to take them to announcements or is it going to take them to inbox?
Okay.
And
Okay, very helpful. Thank you.
yeah, and with inbox, pick a course, and then you can pick who, whether it's, all students. Maybe you want to message, your co-teachers. And calendar is really good for you to view, because you can see it automatically colors them for you. I'm sure you can change it, but you can see all of your Canvas courses and what's due, and students can see it this way as well. So I kind of taught students this recently with being quarantined.
Right, because they can see it's a good visual.
Yeah, and it's all their classes. They don't have to keep clicking into each one. It'll show it all, and it's already color coordinated. Unless I did it, which I might have because I like colors, but I'm pretty sure it did it automatically. Oh, I did create colors for them.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Very helpful.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was just gonna piggyback on what the Discovery School teacher said, that
Mm-hmm.
at Jefferson, what you find out as you get higher up is, well, everybody has an individual style, and I keep asking because I see different teachers' styles. Like I have one teacher who always puts what they're gonna do, like she always makes an announcement like on Monday every week, but I haven't been doing that. Like I said, I'm just trying to simplify it, not just for my kids, but also for the parents. But I find that the students eventually will find out from all their teachers, like which teacher puts announcements and which teacher just publishes it on a daily basis in each class. So I guess it's a personal style, but I know it's challenging initially for the students and the parents to get used to what each teacher is doing. Because at the middle school, everybody basically has his or her own style of designing the Canvas.
I think
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And that's kind of why I was asking the question at the
Yeah.
elementary level, because even if you have, like, let's say a third grader and a fifth grader, and then our
Right.
teams are doing it differently, then that's on the parent to log in as their child and then see it and manage it different ways. So like we're trying to think like, oh, how will maybe our K-1-2 team like make collective decisions, and then maybe our third, fourth, and fifth might do something similar or maybe a little bit different, just to kind of make it easier for parents in the beginning as they learn the new platform, because we have historically gone with, we're a Google culture over here, and I know Google can live
that's
behind
true.
Canvas, but we want to make it easy for families.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it would be nice if teachers, like on a certain team at least, would have, but I think, well, I know I'm attached to an 8th grade team, but we actually do our parent blast. All the 8th grade teams do it like on Mondays. We have a blast that goes out to all parents, but I think eventually it's nice to have at least one, a team do it together.
I would say for elementary school, it would definitely make sense to ask all the teachers to do it the same way. For high school, it's kind of preparing them for college. You're gonna have professors that do things different way, and you're just gonna have to get used to it. You could ask teachers in high school to all do the same way, and it would be easier for students. But it's kind of like college. You don't know what your professor's gonna do, how they're gonna set up their Canvas or their Blackboard, or what devices they're gonna use.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Very different for the high school level than like elementary, and then where middle school can live in different places as well. I will share though that I appreciate I have my own children are in high school, and I really liked how like the math department would kind of come together and like create a Canvas course, and then like depending on what class you were in for whatever, trigonometry or intensified algebra or whatever it was, even in the same course, it was like teachers were doing it very similar. But it also can be difficult with the home learning, like if we're not back at school or we have some type of hybrid model. I think even for like rising freshmen, if they're not used to Canvas, and I don't know, it can be a lot when they're not in person. So I think the more teachers are together as teams in the start of this next school year might be really helpful. for all students, regardless of age.
Yeah, I would agree. I do know the math teachers do work together a lot. They have a lot of activities that they, take turns doing, and they do collaborate a lot amongst the levels.
I have a question about attaching Google Docs and having each student make a copy, because I teach it at Kenmore. My name's Misha Bilancioni. I teach FACS over there. I know that in Google Classroom, you can create a file for a template from each student to work from, and I couldn't figure out how to make that work in Canvas, and that's my primary question. So if you could help with that, that would be super amazing.
So I've not used it. The assignment not be fun. Oh. Let's see if I can figure, Google. So if you created it, you should be able to attach it.
Yeah, I can do that. I can click on the, Google Drive and get it to attach. But then they keep asking, asking me to access the file in order to edit. And I'm like, no, then you're going to all be typing over each other. There's no point to that. And then, so I've just kind of been directing them, check on your Google Classroom, because that's where it is. That's where there's a copy for each. So I know that there's a way to do it. I just don't know how.
Yeah, don't use Google Drive or Google Doc that much.
Okay.
Either ask your tech guy or just kind of play around with it and see what you can do. I would assume if you attach it should, but it sounds like it's not working. I don't know why.
All right, I'll continue to kind of muck around. I'm brand new, so learning as all the kids are. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So here's my Google Drive. All of it's attached already. So you guys can, if you have a document. I have my PowerPoints, the book PowerPoints, curriculum, homework. Yeah, and you can see if it's a doc or PDF. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thanks anyway.
And then again, grades, but I don't use grades. There's no point of grading it twice. But you can if you want.
Exactly.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I know that at the middle school, we phased out Google Classroom. We got really used to it. So we've been working on Canvas, I think, for going on 2 years now. So everyone's still learning. But I know at the elementary, I believe you all are still using Google Classroom. Is that correct?
Or Seesaw.
Because there's a difference, right, Michelle? Because we all have access to Google Drive. We have docs there. But like, I don't have my Google Classroom anymore. So when I upload something, it's a document in my drive.
I believe we got rid of Google Classroom. That's something I never really used. Google Drive, I use this for myself, not too much with the students.
Yeah, this is Judy at Discovery. A lot of our teachers, except for our 5th grade, they've been doing Canvas for quite a few years now, but everyone else has set up Google Classroom. So now I think what we're going to do is just create it so that their Google Docs, whatever the document is, will be uploaded, and then they can link to it through Canvas. So Canvas will be like the front page, because I just think it's going to be too much to ask right now for teachers to switch over everything at the elementary level. And again, because we've lived in a Google culture, but that doesn't mean that we can get there, pretty soon. My question is about the whole Google piece is, once you, I use it a lot. We use it for our AP meetings. And so we can post the agenda for, let's say, a meeting. And then if the agenda changes at the last minute, then you have to take down or what you posted and re-upload it. Or can it just live like through a Google Doc where you make changes, and then because Canvas is like the face of it, if once they click on it, then it will just go to Google and then you can see the changes immediately. That's what I'm not clear about.
Yeah, so if you have a Google Doc and you attach it here, it'll take them right to that Google Doc. So if you have changed it, they will see the changes.
Okay.
I know sometimes though, like if I share it with someone and they click on it through the email, they might still see the old version.
Okay.
I've had that with my co-teacher when we collaborated. She made a comment to me. I'm like, oh, I switched it. Like I sent it to you again, click on the second email. I'm not sure why it does that. But if it's not an email, it's right here, it'll be uploaded. It should be. And then, you can always see edits on Google Docs. And you can see who's edited.
This is David from Wakefield. I believe it was Misha's question and point about the Google Docs and how they interface with Canvas. I think what I found at least was, Google Docs you can share and then allow access, but that access is for just one person. Where Canvas is almost like a separate individualized assignment as well. So I think that's kind of maybe where there's not a ton of interface between being able to share multiple copies of the same document so kids can edit it like you could in Google Drive or whatever. I don't think Canvas does a good job of translating that aspect of it. So you can't share it once to like 30. You kind of have to do that within Canvas. If you share that doc, you have to give everybody access.
Right.
That's at least what I found.
Thank you for that. So like if it's a team of 4 teachers then, and it's like PowerPoint slides for whatever they want to like present, like bits of information. So then if the 4 teachers are making changes to that, then all the kids will see it. But if it's different, like a worksheet or something that the kids have to type into, do they have to they click on it and does it download it like as a Microsoft Word document? And then they can print that, or can they type into it and then resubmit it?
I don't think through Canvas. I did have students do that during quarantine, but they ended up just emailing it or sharing it with me through my Google Doc, APS email.
Oh, okay.
So I know I had some students who, when they upload an assignment, they will attach their Google Doc to it. So then I could just click and it'll take me right to Google Doc and upload it, or Google Drive.
Right, and that would be their individual assignment. They can do that, but that doesn't work when you share a document that, like if you share a link to a Google Doc that is an assignment and you want 30 separate submissions, it doesn't really work well with it. I mean, at least I couldn't figure it out. I had to then just put it on Canvas and have them submit through Canvas.
Right, but what are they submitting through? Like I know where the submit button is, right, on Canvas.
Well, no, I would just copy the, like Michelle was showing, I would just copy the assignment in an assignment tab in a module, and then they would just submit it through Canvas. What they would have done in Docs, they just copy pasted into Canvas.
Okay. Thank you.
See if I can remember how to do it. I haven't done it in a while. So insert media, link. So maybe here, and you can attach the link. There should be another way though. David, do you remember?
I would just do it through the Drive tab and then share it that way. But it really became a pain in the butt. So
That's
I kind
what
of
I
stopped
did
doing
too.
it.
Yeah, it was really tricky.
Also for math teachers, you have all this. I don't know if anyone's a math teacher. I clearly don't use it for sign language, but this little math button looks like.
I will say too, really quickly, when you see the V there, I had a problem with connecting with Microsoft Teams. So that was something that was enlightening because I didn't use the big blue button. I used Teams, and I was able to link Microsoft Team meeting invitations through I would just put it in announcements for
Here?
kids. No, the blue V next to the, next to the
Oh.
Google Drive. Yeah, more external tools. And then if you go down to the bottom, Microsoft Team Meetings,
Oh,
you
nice.
can add an invitation there. And that was really, really helpful.
Yeah, I'm hoping not to use Microsoft Teams, but that's really nice for everyone else.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. I totally think Zoom is a much better platform, but we have to do what we're told, right?
Yeah, it is what it is.
It takes a minute, but basically what happens is it comes up, you can create a link and copy the link, and then you could put it in, I would always just put it in the announcements. It's down at the bottom. Sign in. And then it would and then create the meeting. And then you can name it whatever you want. And you don't necessarily have to make the time right. I always did because it made my brain work a little bit better. But it doesn't really matter because what you're creating is a link that you're going to activate.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really, and then you just hit create and then copy it and it'll drop it in that box right there. So it should have, yep. So now if they click that, it'll go to a Teams meeting.
Oh, great.
I'm not going to open it though.
No, you don't, yeah.
That's good to know if I'm forced to use Teams for my students.
Yeah, hopefully you're not with ASL. It's not pleasant.
Mm-mm. Well, thank you, David.
Of course.
That's cool. Learn something else.
Yeah, there's so much. I don't know if any use Blackboard. I definitely like Canvas better than Blackboard. I started using Canvas for my grad school before Arlington did, so I kind of got both sides of it. But I really like it. I think the hardest thing for people is just there's so many ways to do things that it's just you just kind of have to play with it, figure out what you like, and just go from there. And you're gonna make mistakes, but then you just kind of organize it. So like my first year, I was making all my modules and all my assignments was in one long thing, and kids kept clicking assignments and couldn't find it. But
Yeah, I think the interesting part about it is that, I have a good friend of mine who, he actually lives in China right now, and he's taking he's getting a master's degree and everything's through Canvas. So I was asking him, like, what's helpful, what's not, because I was in Arlington, I left for a couple years and came back, and the time that I was gone, Canvas kind of unfolded. And so I really had to learn it a lot, learn a lot about it this year. And it does have a lot of pretty awesome, like once you get it formatted, once you get the layout the way that you're comfortable, I think students really, it's easy for them. It's like, it makes sense. It's fairly logical. And then there are a lot of external tools that we could use. And that's going to take the time to just get to know what works and what really doesn't.
yeah. Any other questions I can help answer while we have time?
The only thing go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say thank you. It's Judy. I'm going to hop off. What time does this end? Is it 12?
It was supposed to be 12. They put it to 12:30, but I can stay till 12:30 if anyone needs me to.
I'm going to listen in for another 10 minutes, but if it ends earlier, that's fine too.
I think I saw in the chat, some of us talking about, what Bridget Loft's going to, kind of expect and lay out from the DTL perspective, and how they're changing everything from Google, Google Classroom's going away, and we want to do Canvas, and the questions about whether or not we should have a kind of collaborative front in terms of messaging and how we put the messages out. And I do agree with everybody. I mean, I think elementary is different than middle school, it's different than high school, but I think that as teachers, if we can put a bug in everybody's ear, whether it's our ITC or whether it's our department chairs or whomever, I do think having a formula, just a formatted way to approach our messaging, not the content clearly and all that, but just the messaging of how I found it really nice to like we were talking about, to send a message on a Monday morning letting the kids know what they had to do for the week and everything was in Canvas, and then being able to send that message out through Synergy as well. So parents that were on Synergy, parents that were on Canvas. I also have a daughter in the system, high school student, and it got really confusing sometimes. So I think anytime that we can be kind of, at least standardize some of the messaging platform language, that would be helpful. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, for sure. Agree with that. They definitely are saying, they want us to standardize even the format that we're using to present Canvas stuff in, to a degree, so that it's not so much stuff to dig through for students and for family. So, because I have an EPS student as well, also at the high school level, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. So having a little bit more consistency, while at the same time, like, I don't want to curtail anything, any like cool discoveries that anyone is making within Canvas, like, oh, hey, I just learned how to use this and now I'm not supposed to use it, or whatever that is. I certainly don't want to discourage that, but I definitely see the merit in needing to have a somewhat standardized approach moving forward, assuming that we're going to be in some hybridized state here. So
If I would just make one comment, because I don't consider, I still consider myself a novice because I'm learning, because, all of us work with teachers who are actually, I call them techie. They're really good with technology. I'm the content person, but I'm learning to use Canvas, and I'm more comfortable with it now, and knowing that we might be in a hybrid. In other words, it's the way the future is pointing, that we should all at least be technologically inclined to at least format our classes somewhere. But anyway, I was just going to say my biggest help, to be honest with you, are my students, because they're young and they adjust to systems. But I go to them all the time. I'll say, I'm having problems with this, and one of my kids will go, oh, Dr. Lima, if you just do this, and I'm sitting there going, oh man, why didn't I think of that? But I use them as my resources, to be honest with you, because I know we have ITCs, but our ITC at Jefferson is just inundated all the time with all kinds. They have a task on their hand. But I think I agree with everyone that if we can at least standardize across, if you can't do it all through elementary to high school, at least elementary, middle, and high school, that, at least we'll get students and parents knowing where these announcements are going to, at least the essential things. And then from there, they can, depending on how the teacher does it, then go find where your stuff is, but at least the major place to look for the main thing. But anyway, I think all the ideas are great. We're all learning. But thank you, Michelle. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime. If you have questions later, feel free to shoot me an email and I can try to answer the best of my ability.
Great. Thank you so very much. And thanks everybody for the contributions. It's Judy at Discovery. It was just good to hear everybody talk. And just think out loud, but like listening to you share ideas has got me thinking about some things as well for what might work well over here. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. I really do
so
appreciate it. This was helpful. I want to just piggyback on what you said earlier too. The idea of grading in Canvas, that I would, as a teacher and as a parent, I would say do not grade anything in Canvas. I know that we have to put grades and all that, but like the idea that kids look at grades at Wakefield, this has been a nightmare with parents not understanding grades. And so any way that you can like limit where you direct, or maybe even be more forceful in the way that you direct, look at student view, look at parent view, all of that. That's my only beef with Canvas right now, is that grades gets confusing for students and parents. So just be ever mindful of that. And Michelle, you pointed that out at the very beginning, so I really do appreciate it. Thanks for doing this for us.
Yeah, thanks for your input. I appreciate it. It's helpful. Well, everyone have a nice weekend, and hopefully I'll see you around.